Hey everyone, Crazy Jimmy here. Got a, pretty cool video for you. Great, couple great albums. I actually like a lot, really everything they did, but a couple great albums that I want to really uh, just sing the praises of the pressings that I'm going to show you for these. And believe me, I've listened to a lot of different pressings of these two albums. So in the two I have here, the pressings I want to go over, really to my ears are, they just blow away everything else I've heard, including analog production stuff, all modern represses, just don't even compare. So the first one I'm going to start with is these two Lynyrd Skynyrd albums, which probably everyone has in their collection. I'm sure. And this is the first one, pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. And I really want to sing the praises of these, of two actually. But the first one is this one here, the original yellow Sounds of the South pressings are just, they're incredible. They just explode out of the speakers. They're dynamic, they're wide, they're transparent. They have everything you need. In this, when you're listening to this album, and specifically, what you want to look for in the dead wax on these is, and I've heard a couple different variants, and there really isn't a lot of separation between them, but the W1 on both sides, so W1 on the A and W1 on the B in the dead wax, Globersville or Pixneyville, I don't know. Either one, you get the W1's unbelievable. This is a Globersville and W1 double side, Sounds of the South, just an original pressing, smokes anything I've heard on this album. Don't bother with the represses. Don't, mo-fi. I don't think I've heard the mo-fi of this. I don't even know if there is a mo-fi. I'm sure there is, but we all know those are the 99.9% of mo-fis are digital. They were sourced from at least one digital step. So don't believe, they use that play on words, analog, cut from the analog tapes. Yeah, that's nice. Not directly. So a lot of these companies, you'll see the hype sticker, it'll say cut from the analog tapes, and 99.9% of the time there is a digital step involved where the analog tape, they cut the digital they cut from the analog tape to a digital transfer, and then that's what they work with, and they say, yeah, it was cut from the original tapes, and that's just not the case. And if you talk to a lot of these mastering engineers that are cutting records now, even the ones that are old school that have been around, like Ludwig and Gray, those guys, they'll tell you it's really a lost art. Not too many are even doing that or have the ability to do that. So we know this is all analog. We know there's no digital steps here. Avoid all represses. Avoid the analog productions. It sounds sterile to me compared to this. This sounds alive. This sounds like the band is right in your living room with you, or the room that you're in. So that is number one. Look for the yellow Sounds of the South. And actually, I haven't heard a bad one yet. I've heard the W2s. I've heard the W1s, the W1. I have a W2. I've heard that. I've even heard up to a W6, which sounds great too. But the one that really blew my mind was the W1 double side W1. So that is the first one. Also, I want to kind of sing the praises of this one here. Now, this is a super clean near mint second pressing, and you'll know you have a second pressing because the Sounds of the South is not there. The logo is not on the sleeve. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So you got the Sounds of the South logo right there. And this one, you know, you can just look at it and see this is not going to be a first press. It doesn't have that. Unless someone, of course, created a Frankenstein press where they put a yellow Sounds of the South in there. But this is most likely going to be, you know, one of those gold rim ones, or the rainbow, which is, this is the MCA rainbow. This is the second pressing. They started pressing these in late 73 up till like 76 or 77. Now, these also used the same metal work that these Sounds of the South used. So, whoops. So you're getting great, you know, you're getting amazing sound quality on these too, all analog. And this happens to be a W1 cut. So, you know, it's the same exact metal between the two. Now, there might be, you know, the metal used in this might be fresher, which means, you know, you might get better sound, a little more alive, a little more punch, a little more drive. But this one here sounds, it's really hard for me to tell the difference between this and the yellow Sounds of the South. But the Sounds of the South does best it by just a hair. But these are a great alternative because I know the yellow Sounds of the South are getting really expensive. You know, a clean one can run you $50 to $100 now. And these rainbows, these MCA rainbows with pretty much the same metalwork, even though it might be an older, you know, it might be used a little more, still sounds good. And, you know, you're going to be spending for a clean one somewhere between 25 to 50, depending on, you know, how clean it is. Now, this is a near mint. You never, first of all, you never see this sleeve like this. The sleeve, the dye on this, the black dye, was susceptible to fading, and it faded super easy, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see the difference. See the ring wear on that? And there's zero ring wear on this. I know it's in the sleeve now, but believe me, this is completely clean, and this one is, you know, got the ring wear, which these were really, you know, the dye was just not great with these. And then this, I just want to show you this. This is a sealed original pressing. And you know, whoops, you know it because you got the Sounds of the South right there. Even has a hype sticker, which you just never see this Freebird hype sticker. You know, the first single released off of this. Actually, my understanding is Freebird came out was on the airways before this album was even released yet. I was told that by a radio DJ who worked back in the day, was spinning that song before this was even released. So, just crazy though to be able to find something like this sealed. You just don't see it. And then the hype sticker, certainly never come across that. But that's the first one. So the first Lynyrd Skynyrd album. Look for my recommendation for the best hot stamper sound quality is these yellow Sounds of the South. Look for the W1 on each side. A great alternative is W2 sounds great. They all sound really good, but I've heard like W8s and W9s, and those are getting hairy. W12 I heard, and that sounded like a tape dub, you know. So I think it was like a 1980. Avoid those Blue Cloud MCA labeled pressings. Those are horrible. So stick to, this is the first one you want to get. Really, you will thank me. And then the black rainbow is the next if you don't want to splurge and get an original pressing. All right, so next one I want to show you is again, I'm going to be talking the same thing here with this one. First of all, this was sealed. I opened it, played it. Shame on me, I know. But it's got another, you know, super rare hype sticker. You just never see it. You know, and it's talking about, it's got Sweet Home Alabama, Don't Ask Me No Questions, and the Ballad of Curtis Lowe on there. Yellow, Sounds of South, got the little logo there. This pressing here, this original Sounds of the South for the second helping is second to none. There's like nothing. This is the one to own. Just like the first album, it's the one to own. Here it is, and this is a W1, and it's got Kendon recorders. Let me just. Is that Kendon? Pretty sure this was a Kendon. Yeah, Kendon recorders. So you want to look for that. These are superior. These are the best tone. If you have a repress and you think it sounds great, which I'm sure, to your ears it probably does, but you haven't heard this yet, do a comparison. Get one of these. Get a clean one or semi, VG Plus, and you will be blown away, and you will sell your repress. I don't care if you have Analog Productions. I don't care if you got MoFi. I don't care what you got. One step, get rid of that stuff and get the original yellow Sounds of the South. Blows it away, and I can attest to that because I've heard a bunch of them. This is the one to own. And then these are also excellent, but you just want to make sure you get the W1 to W2. I wouldn't tinker around with much after that. With this one, for some reason, it sounded like they used... this is a W2 here. It sounds phenomenal. It sounds like they use like a dub or something on the later ones. I don't know what happened, but the W1s and the W2s on this Kendon recorders are the way to go. The original pressing and the second pressing right here are the way to go with that. So those are my recommendations for sound best pressing for both the first Lynyrd Skynyrd and the second one. You want the absolute best for these. Get the original Sounds of the South. And if you don't want to splurge for that, get a low stamper W1 or W2 of the Rainbow. Thanks for watching, everyone. Peace.